stank bastard, back again for the second episode of the Buccanidiots YouTube show. And I have a special guest with me today, and it's Garrett Jansen. Garrett,
what up?
I said your last name right?
Correct. You're good.
Garrett, we're coming off the tail or the end of the draft. But before we talk draft, some bigger news has hit this town. We can't not talk about it.
You're going to drop the bomb on me.
Jameis Winston is a New Orleans Saint.
It hurts.
React.
It hurts a lot. Once they get him in the building, he's not leaving the building.
I mean, the fact that he chose to enter the building is what I want to talk about. And I get it. I've seen his Instagram press conference. He says he couldn't turn down the opportunity to work with Sean Payton, Drew Brees, and all of the other people in that building. It said it's like a Harvard education as a quarterback. And it's tough to fucking hear, to be perfectly honest with you.
Agree. Couldn't have said it better.
I don't want to make this into a Jameis Winston episode, but I'm not happy. I'm not happy.
He's my favorite player, and it's hard to see him leave, first of all, but
yeah,
for him to go in division to my most hated team in the division is a tough pill to swallow.
It should be the Buccaneers, most Buccaneers fans' most hated team. I mean, they're on top of the division.
Have been forever.
And he just chose to join that team. And as much as I do love Jameis Winston, I can't ride with him while he wears the fleur-de-lis on his helmet. I can't do it. And maybe it's a temporary stop. Maybe he's there for a year and, some other team throws some money at him because he looks good in the preseason, or maybe he gets in games where they're blowouts and he looks good enough to get that big fat contract from another team. But until he leaves that town, I'm officially a Jameis Winston hater. I'm sorry. And some people are going to say, oh, you're just a hater. You were just waiting to hate on him. No, I'm done. He's dead to me.
I can't go that far, but I definitely don't want him lighting us up.
I love Jameis Winston as a person.
Oh, he's a great person.
He's got so much charisma. He's an intelligent guy. His smile lights up a room. I want to be his friend. I want to be a family member of his. But if Jameis Winston was my brother, I'd want to whoop his ass right now.
Oh, I
want to fight him. I want to smack him. I wouldn't talk to him for maybe I might have to disown him for a year. That's how angry I am with the man.
Yeah, it's been eating on me ever since I heard the news he might go there. I was really, really hoping he went to Pittsburgh because I think he's better to learn on Ben Roethlisberger because they're a little bit more similar to one another. But it's hard turning down an offer to play behind Drew Brees and learn from that mind.
I guess.
But I guarantee a lot of it came with sticking the Bucs back in the ass. But
I mean, I got to treat them as equals, and I hated on Gerald McCoy last year for making the decision to go to Carolina, and lost a lot of respect for him because as a competitor, I don't know that I could do that as much as I ride with my team to be able to just jump to one of your most hated rivals and smile and say, "Oh, I'm repping." I remember when Gerald McCoy, became Panther to Panther life. This is my boy. I just can't see how they can flip the switch. And I get it. It's business. And Jameis Winston wanted to stay here in Tampa. I understand.
Yep.
Everybody
they told him he was coming back.
Unofficial reports say that.
Yeah.
I don't know what's true. I don't know what isn't. Just like, Jameis 1-of-1 will say that Bruce Arians told him to only throw the ball deep and never check the ball down. We don't know what's true. We don't know what isn't. And we're only speculating. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. Let's talk about some good news, Garrett, because
I would say great news, actually. I don't think it's just good.
The Buccaneers added a bunch of new blood to the organization. And I'm not talking about Rob Gronkowski and Tom Brady, who probably gets a lot of new blood put into his system because he's a vampire. Let's talk about the draft. So we go into this draft with the 14th pick. And after a few hours, our pick is approaching, and then out of nowhere, trade flashes up on the screen. The first trade of the draft. It was basically a boring as fuck draft up until the Bucs decided to trade up one spot and had everybody in the Loose Cannons live chat, the Loose Cannons draft show, which if you haven't seen, take your
go
mouse,
back and watch it.
Go get onto Loose Cannons YouTube page. It's 7 hours long. You should watch every bit of it. No, I'm just kidding. It's entertaining. I drank an entire bottle of wine. I don't drink. I'm not a drinker.
Yeah.
But I drank a whole bottle of wine, and I got a little fucked up, and I even jumped on my treadmill and fell off. So, anyways, we traded up because the big four tackles were falling left and right, and we secured awesome offensive tackle Tristan Wirfs from Iowa. Garrett, what's your take on Tristan? Was he on your list of guys that the Buccaneers should target? How do you feel about the pick?
Well, I knew we were going right tackle, and I say right tackle very strongly. Right tackle. Mm-hmm. At 14, I mean, biggest hole on our team. Jason can say we don't draft for need all he wants, but he drafted for need. You knew he was going to draft for need. You got a 43-year-old quarterback sitting back there. You got to draft for need. He was number 4 on my board of the big four. I think he projects more to a guard in the NFL. But his characteristics and how he plays is freakish. He's athletic, strong, and he's versatile. He can play left tackle. He could play right tackle, but like I said, I think he translates more to a guard
because of arm length.
He actually his arm length isn't terrible, but I think that's more or less that, and just he's more of a run blocker, not a pass blocker as of right now. Hopefully he can develop into more of a pass blocker. Like I said, his pass pro needs work, and he gets a little tall in his pass sets. So we'll see what happens. I think the Bucs have two coaches on the offensive line, Joe Douglas and can't remember, not ringing a bell right now with the other guy, but 2 good offensive line coaches, and I think our offensive line as a whole with Jensen, Marpet, and Donovan Smith in general will help him. But he's just a big, freaky, athletic dude.
He is a freak. He broke some records at the Combine. I think it was a broad jump for offensive linemen. He broke that record. And
he jumped out of a pool.
Yeah, jumped out of a pool,
that.
Which, let me see, DeMar Dotson jump out of a pool. DeMar Dotson can't jump out of his bed.
Can't roll out of his bed.
Yeah, it's good to have freaky athletic linemen. One of the things, listen, I chose not to really dedicate a whole lot of my time into researching guys pre-draft. I didn't have the time this year to really do it, but post-draft, I jumped into Tristan Wirfs pretty heavily. And the first thing that I saw that I loved was that he wrestles. And he was a state champion in Iowa. I don't know if at the University of Iowa he was a state champion, but obviously he's a monster in the weight room. All those things translate onto the football field. I coached high school ball. I coached Pop Warner. In high school, we made all our linemen wrestle, defense and offensive linemen wrestle, because it directly translates onto the field. You learn how to use your leverage. You learn how to use your lower body, your base. So that excited me to see that he was a wrestler and that he had freaky gym strength. And agility-wise, we'll see what it looks like. I've heard the same thing from NFL scouts, that some projected him to fit better as a guard. And I guess we'll see. Clearly he's not – I don't think he has the left tackle build to him. And I wasn't high on us drafting a right tackle that early in the draft, but a guy like that who could potentially be a 10-year tackle, or a guy who could be a Pro Bowl guard eventually if they end up upgrading that position at some point, it's a slam dunk. So I see why they did it. It was really the biggest missing piece on this team, and
for sure.
And come to find out, after the draft, Jason Light was willing to trade a first-round pick to get down there to get one of these tackles. I think Becton's the guy that they probably had targeted.
His ceiling is just so high with Becton.
Right.
That's what that's what led me to him, but he can also flop. I mean, that's
right. He's got a high ceiling, but I don't think he's as polished as Wirfs is.
No, he's super raw.
Right. So yeah, again, I'm happy with it. I wasn't happy that we traded up to get him, but I understand why they did it. I don't like giving up, draft commodity, and I think we may have gotten played a little bit there by the 49ers, but who knows? Maybe there were teams legitimately trying to trade up. Maybe
and look at they traded for Trent Williams.
Yeah,
they needed. Maybe, I mean, Joe Staley did retire, so that was a real scare.
It was real. Yeah. It was real. I still think they would have taken Kinlaw regardless of whether we would have traded up or not. And their trade partners, if they would have went back 3 or 4 spots, they may have lost the opportunity to draft both of those guys. So,
yeah.
But you secured your guy. You gave up a 4th. That's it. We move on. I think the bigger surprise came in the 2nd round for most people anyways.
Yes and no. Early on, I thought we were for sure in for a safety. I mean, early in the draft process.
Mm-hmm.
But our running back need, I thought, was higher. So I thought 100% we were going to go running back, either Akers or Dobbins at that point. We're the only 2 guys left on the board. I wasn't a big fan of Dobbins. And Akers ran behind possibly the worst offensive line that Division I Power 5 conference has ever seen. So, and he did a lot there. But I loved Antoine Winfield. I saw him play the Outback Bowl at Raymond James, along with, our 5th-round pick, who that was probably my favorite pick of the draft. But
really? We'll get to him. We'll get to him in a second. So let's talk about Antoine Winfield Jr. I'm going to give you my take on him. Other than having heard his name on some of the pre-draft shows, like Moving the Sticks, Bucky Brooks was very high on him. DeAndre Jeremiah was very high on him pre-draft. They talked, he was their number 1 safety in the draft. And he was the number 1 safety in the draft for a lot of people, although he ended up being the 3rd safety taken or 4th safety taken. Not sure. I think it was the third.
Third because safety. I think it went McKinney, Delpit, and then we got Winfield.
I think there was one other guy that went before him. There was a run right before he was taken, and I think.
Oh no, the guy from the Patriots. He was like not a high Division I player. He was, I think, he was D2. That guy as well.
But he was high on everybody's list, and then. I clicked on the tape, the tape. I clicked on the tape, the YouTube highlights. I clicked on the tape, and my jaw hit the floor. Like, this is exactly what I love in a safety.
Yeah.
I'm old. I remember seeing Ed Reed at UM. I remember seeing the ball skills, just incredible ball skills.
He's a ball hawk. If you've ever seen one,
I love it. We haven't had a ball hawking safety here since John Lynch. And John Lynch was a little both, right? He was a hybrid. He could knock your fucking brain out of your head, your teeth out. And he had that intelligence. The kid reminds me of like a hybrid of like a Rondé Barber almost, a bigger version of Rondé.
He's only 5'9".
Yeah, 5'9", 5'10", according to some. But still, Ed Reed wasn't that big.
Yeah.
What's his face from Seattle?
Earl Thomas.
Yeah, Earl Thomas isn't that big.
He plays a lot like Earl Thomas too.
Yeah. The size doesn't concern me as much as it concerns others. I had, people say, well, he's going to be able to cover tight ends over the middle. You got to remember, Todd Bowles is not your normal defensive coordinator. Todd Bowles will roll with 5 safeties on the field. He will. He'll play with a 5 safety set. He'll play.
Remember we have Whitehead too.
We've got Whitehead.
He'll lay a thumping and he can play. The kid played real well last year.
I liked that. Edwards flashed last year.
Edwards wasn't bad, yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. He was a rookie.
Yeah.
He looked like a rookie out there at times. He also, would stick his nose in there. He has good instincts as well. And it's only going to improve with this coaching staff. And then you got a guy like Dakota Dixon who,
flashed in camp a lot.
Yeah, flashed in camp. Arians essentially said he was in position to potentially earn a starting role had he not gotten hurt. And then the real wild card.
MJ?
No, not MJ.
Oh, Justin Evans.
Justin Evans.
Yeah, I mean, if he can come back.
Justin, bicycle
to what he
Evans.
Was.
Yeah, if Justin Evans can come back,
that goes from a weakness to one of our best strengths.
Right. That room turns special because Justin Evans has some incredible ability. And they can do a whole lot with that group back there. And I think, because we use our safeties, in nickel, because we run a lot of crazy sets back there. Yeah. I think it solidifies the secondary and turns it into a strength. For sure. Our young guys are starting to mature back there. They got a lot of playing experience towards the end of the season. And with that defensive line, if they can continue to maintain the type of pass rush we had towards the end of the year, or really all season, especially once we got JPP back, I think we could see some special things out of our secondary. Yeah. Okay, so Antoine Winfield, for a lot of people, was a shock. He's my favorite pick of the draft after going through and watching
he was
the
number
film.
2. He was number 2 for me.
Yeah, after going back and watching the film, he really impressed me. Okay, third round, we knew we were obviously targeting a running back at some point. We draft a guy that I think wasn't on most people's radar. Keyshawn Vaughn.
No idea who he was at first.
I'm a Gator fan, and I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't follow the Gators that closely. I didn't watch I don't think I focused on the Gator Vandy game this year. But after watching the film on him and looking at the stat sheets, I mean, this kid produced in the SEC.
Behind a terrible offensive line.
In a terrible offense.
Yeah.
Behind a terrible line.
They had no talent. They had zero talent.
I had a lot of people reach out to me on Twitter, because people were being critical. A lot of Vandy fans reached out to me on Twitter saying that this guy was essentially their entire offense. And teams knew he was coming, and he still got off on them. LSU, he put 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. So clearly he's a gamer. At the very least, the guy's a dog, because you don't do that in the SEC on a shitty team, because there's not a whole lot of shit competition in the SEC.
Not to mention he played for Lovey, so he's got to be tough.
Oh, he's got to be tough playing for Lovey. Exactly. Lovey's a fucking ball breaker. Yeah. That's why he left. No. So I'm in wait and see mode with the guy. I'm not a letter grade guy. I really want to see what he has out there. He looks solid as a pass catcher.
He's built really solid. I mean,
he's built. You can see he's an alpha. He's a leader in the locker room. Jason Light called him an alpha. Those aren't my words. The kid is in front of the team, leading the charge. I like guys like that. I don't think you can have enough guys in your locker room like that. And doesn't have to be penciled in as the starter. We have Rojo. We've got Dar. We've got some guys back there. And we ended up drafting another running back as well in case he just doesn't pan out. We obviously lost our 4th round picks, or one of our 4th round picks went to adding Gronkowski, and then the other we lost in the trade. So we didn't get to participate in the longest 4th round of all time, because it was awful. Lasted 30 hours.
And then the 5th and 6th round went by in the blink of an eye.
Yeah. 5th round rolled around. Another guy I wasn't familiar with until after the draft, because I don't watch very much Minnesota football. We take Tyler Johnson, Tampa Bay Lightning. Tell me more about Tyler Johnson.
He's a center. Probably stands about 5'6".
Yeah.
Really, really fast. No, just kidding.
Yeah. He's gonna play slot.
Yeah, he is gonna play slot. That is for sure. I mean, that's set in stone, kids.
I love that. I love he reached out to the other Tyler Johnson on Twitter, and the Bucks did the fucking bat or the Spider-Man thing where they're pointing at each other. That's amazing. Yeah. I don't want to steal Rendak's thunder, but the first thing I thought of when I saw him was Chris Godwin. Like, he reminds me a lot of Chris Godwin, and then I heard Ren say it later on. I was like, I had the same exact thought when I saw him. He kind of looks like him, or even maybe Mike Williams, our old Mike Williams.
Yeah.
A guy who's kind of a rebounder, can go up and get the ball.
The dude makes some unreal catches. I mean, I don't know if you saw the.
I did. I watched his YouTube
Outback Bowl. The one in the Outback Bowl.
Yes.
That catch was unbelievable.
In the NFL, it's not a catch because he didn't get 2 feet down. But
exactly
in college, he did. But the kid has ball skills in the air.
Yeah.
Clearly has some kind of basketball background, because usually guys who do that know how to out rebound corners and just have the body control, know when to high point, all things that you look for in a guy like that. And in one of the highlight clips I was watching with audio, the announcer said he led the SEC with on slant routes. So I guess he was a slant deep. I'm sorry, not SEC. At Big Ten in slant routes. So
he's the perfect slot for Tom Brady. I mean, you can't ask for any other better player, especially in the 5th round. I mean, the value there was incredible. But the dude he's just a baller. He does have some drop concerns. I think that's kind of easy to fix, especially with the guys that's going to be in the room with him. Mm-hmm. But the dude's just freaky. He said in his interview with the Buccaneers' conference call that he's been working on speed all offseason, which was something else. He didn't run at the combine. Obviously didn't get to have his pro day. So he didn't get to run. So they kind of felt wary of that because he didn't run and nobody knew truly how fast he was. But he plays, I think, a little bit faster than he is. And if he's been working on agility and speed, that can only make him better.
Well, Bruce Arians personally scouted the Minnesota Golden Gophers football team here in Tampa. I guess you were on the sidelines for that as well.
Sidelines, no.
No? In the stadium?
I was in the stadium, yes.
All right. I don't know. Sometimes, people
Bucks
don't
games
know.
Only sidelines.
People don't know. You know people in high places. You get to shake hands and rub elbows with people on the sidelines. That's all I'll say. Garrett's real last name is Glazer. Anyways,
the Glazers are actually from where I'm from, so
there you go. I'm
not related though.
I know a Jew and I see him. Anyways, so Tyler Johnson, checks the box. I think going into the draft, we said we're going to add an offensive tackle, we're going to draft a running back, and we're going to add a receiver. Yep. I was pounding the drum for defensive line depth, and in the 6th round, we
got him. Another freak of an athlete, may I say?
Freak of an athlete may be an understatement.
Yeah.
This guy ran
4.75 at 310 pounds.
310. Just to give you some perspective, the Notre Dame tight end ran a 4.70.
Yeah.
And he's not 310 pounds.
He was drafted by the Bears as their 10th tight end on their roster in the second
round. Yeah, they're going to run one quarterback, 10 tight ends. They're trying to change the game. No receivers.
Yep. No running backs.
The guy's got freaky ability. I like it. Anytime you draft a fat boy, I'm all for it. We need depth at that position. Seems like he can play nose. He can play 3 technique. He can play some defensive end in 3-4. So they liked his versatility. Jason Light obviously knows Nebraska players.
Yeah.
So he's personally scouted him, and can't hate on the pick. 7th round, we had 2 picks. We drafted a linebacker out of Temple named Chappelle Russell. What do you know about Chappelle?
I think his size is tailor-made for the NFL. He's 6'2", 236. He's all over the field. I mean, the dude just runs sideline to sideline, but I think the problem with him, this is something easy to fix, is he sits back a little too much and tries to diagnose the play left to right instead of just going in up through the middle and trying to stuff the run at the line. He more or less is a wait and see kind of guy than a go and get it kind of guy.
I didn't mean to cut you off with Khalil Davis. You didn't really.
Oh, you were good.
Okay. I didn't know if you had any more you wanted to add about his game or not. Todd Bowles is going to get Chappelle Russell right.
Yeah.
If he was too passive, maybe he was coached that way, or you never know what system guys are in or what they're being coached.
He did tear his ACL 2 years in a row too. So, that could weigh on the fact that he was more like that, because you're
going to take a flyer on a guy like that, kind of like we did with Sitchy. Maybe a guy who has 3rd, 4th round ability, 2nd round ability, but because of injury can't get on the field.
Even Beckwith, when we took him, he was injured, and he was a stud. Sucks to that situation, but
and we haven't really even heard anything about his situation. He may be out of the league. Who knows?
But linebacker depth. I think linebacker depth is actually kind of thin. We got Devin White, and we got Levante. Kevin Minner we signed for vet min, but behind those 3, Sitchy's going to be out most of this year, I think, or at least the beginning. He tore his ACL again, so depth at linebacker. We lost a couple last year. Devin White got hurt. Levante was hurt in training camp. Mm-hmm. Sitchy went out. We got pretty thin back there, so it never hurts to have have too many linebackers.
It would be nice if Beckwith came back. Maybe he's just out there grinding in the silence.
Yeah.
And shows up for training camp, ready to rock and roll.
Bitches, I'm back.
Exactly. We did add another LSU linebacker in unrestricted free agency, which we'll cover in a second, because we got one more player who I'm excited about because I love running backs.
Because we might have a kick returner?
I like small running backs.
Yeah, he's shifty, man.
Yeah. Raymond Callis, I think is how you pronounce his name, from Louisiana Lafayette. A little guy. It's got pass catching ability. Obviously isn't going to be your run blocking guy, but pass blocking guy, but it's going to give you some versatility out of the backfield in the passing game, and with draws and things like that. I've been waiting for us to add a guy like that for a long time, maybe since Doug Martin left, and Doug was a bigger back than him.
Yeah,
maybe like a work done type. Yeah. This guy's got foot speed, track speed. And I think there's a good chance he's going to make this roster.
Yeah. I think TJ Logan or Dare. I mean, I think Dare sticks because he's a special teams guy, but TJ Logan might be on the ropes.
Yeah, again, people have been down on Dare or ready to go ahead and send him packing. Dare's a big boy. Dare's got some potential. I mean, he caught 35 balls.
Yeah.
I honestly wouldn't.
He's a special teams captain for last year for a reason. I mean, they don't just give that to somebody because they like him.
Yeah, I think he's a guy who could potentially get that fourth running back spot.
Yeah.
But we'll wait and see. I mean, we may have a shortened preseason. We don't know what's going to happen here with Corona. It may be tougher for some of these young guys, from these unrestricted guys, to make the team.
I know our unrestricted free agent class is stacked.
We added, I don't know how many guys in unrestricted free agency.
I think we've got 11 right now.
11 or 12, something like that.
Yeah,
who are some of the guys you're excited about?
I think my favorite, I've got 4 right now. I think that could make the roster potentially. I mean, it's hard to add so many unrestricted free agents when our roster is getting deeper. But Parnell Motley from Oklahoma, 6 foot, 178 at corner. His senior season was his best season so far in college, and the dude just balls. I mean, turn on the LSU tape. Burrow wasn't throwing his way too much. He had 2 pass defense against LSU. He finds the ball. He's long. He's more of a ball hawk. And he's great inside coverage and outside coverage on receivers. I mean, I watched a little bit of his film this afternoon, and he jumps off the tape for sure.
Yeah, you're not the only one to point out Parnell as a guy who, has ability, to make an NFL roster, because of our youth back there. If he flashes, he could potentially, knock off a guy like, I don't know, MJ Stewart. You hate to see it, but MJ doesn't seem like he's a fit for this defense, and who knows? I think he probably knows that his job is on the line, so he's going to be fighting for it. He does have 2 years experience now, I think.
He's 2. This will be his 3rd year.
Right. So, this team has a tradition of unrestricted guys making our roster. I mean, a guy who's finally most likely going to retire this year, DeMar Dotson, is a guy we got, off the streets in unrestricted free agency.
Cam Brate.
Yeah, Cam Brate.
Dare.
Exactly. They're a long list.
Yeah.
So it's, I think there's a chance for some of these young guys to sneak in there. We added a few more offensive tackles.
Yep. The kid from Texas is pretty solid. He's a center. We don't really have
Zach Shackelford.
Shackelford. We don't really have that guy on our roster right now, I don't think. I mean, maybe Joe Hag from the Colts, who we signed. I mean, I know he's pretty position flexible, but I see Jack Shackelford putting up a fight. I mean, 6'4", 305. He's a big dude. We also signed the dude from Boise State. He's more of a guard, I think. He's 6'5", 310, so another big boy. Both of them get to the second level pretty well. I watched them for 3-4 minutes apiece. So not too much into them. But, I mean, those two. And then Michael Divinity, like you said earlier, the LSU linebacker, had some off-the-field problems. was kicked off the team for a little while this past season. Came back, and I believe he played in the national championship, or at least was there for it. But he was getting high regards just like Chason was, and then he got booted off the team. He's got a lot of pass rush skill, plays strong, plays fast. He's a real big player too, I think. More of an outside backer like Barrett and JPP are in our offense. Or defense, sorry.
We added a quarterback, Ryan Sinnett. I know that you mentioned him earlier a little bit. What can you tell me about him?
I couldn't find anything on him. I literally scoured YouTube, looked on Twitter a little bit, couldn't really find too much on him. He's 6'4", 225. He's got a good frame. There was one video I saw. Looks like he slings the ball pretty well. There was an interview I tuned into of him on YouTube. Sounds like he has turnover problems. But, again, he's a developmental guy, maybe a practice squad guy to learn under Brady, see if they can get something out of him.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long shot that a guy like that's going to beat out Ryan Griffin. Ryan's probably going to have if we keep three quarterbacks, Ryan's going to be the one who has to get beat out. Gabbert's not going anywhere. Bruce Arians' guy. And was won games for Bruce, knows the systems, likely right now teaching Tom Brady the system.
Probably.
So Gabbert's not going anywhere. But you never know, man. A guy could be, diamond in the rough.
Yep.
It happens. It's going to be weird because, right now these rookies should be in a mini camp.
Yeah.
And they're not going to have the ability to get out there on the field. We're not going to be able to work through the unrestricted free agents like we normally do.
Not even tryout guys. I mean,
yeah, no tryout guys. But we're not unique. Every team is in the same position. You think that they'll end up maybe cutting the preseason in half?
Yeah. I mean, for them, that's probably something they want to explore because it's something that they're thinking about putting into the NFL. I mean, I think players,
from a dollars perspective, though,
definitely
they sell tickets. The preseason games are full price tickets.
Yeah.
So if they were to cut the preseason in half, that's taking 2 games out of the pockets of ownerships and.
You're lucky we signed. We're lucky you signed Tom Brady this year. So I don't know if the Bucs will be taking that money back.
The Bucs have been taking money out of my account already, and they're not going to give it back.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they're giving that back.
Did you focus on what some of our division did in the draft?
Carolina took 7 defensive players, not a single offensive player. Their draft scared me, but their team as a whole doesn't scare me. So you can add those pieces to their defense. It's not gonna change my view on them being the bottom dweller our division this year. Atlanta bombed it. Plain and simple, they took a cornerback at 16 that probably shouldn't have went till – I mean, the Raiders probably would have done something stupid and taken him too because they took a guy that shouldn't have went until the second round. But they bombed their draft.
That's because Mayock thinks he's smarter than everybody else.
Well, that's what he thinks. Look at Farrell from last year.
I liked Clean and Farrell last year.
I know, but look, they drafted a guy in the 3rd, 4th round that had double the production that he did.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, you get lucky like that sometimes too. So, and then the Saints, I think the Saints killed it. They only had 3 picks. I mean, they traded up into the 7th right in front of us to grab a quarterback, but that kid's going to get cut now that they signed Jameis. Mm-hmm. But first round guard, I think they could have traded back to get him, the kid out of Michigan, Ruiz. They traded up for him. They
just drafted a center last year, didn't they?
I think so.
So
they got a linebacker, plug and play automatically, and then that Troutman tight end, the Division II guy or FCS guy,
mm-hmm.
or what, FBS guy. So I mean, I think those top 3 picks, just the 3 that they had, because just to trade up for the tight end, they gave away the rest of their day 3 picks. So those 3 guys, that the tight end's going to be, if they can integrate him well into that offense with mm-hmm. the weapons they already have, adding Emmanuel Sander and obviously Michael Thomas, the 7-yard specialist. And they still got Ted Ginn, I think, and the Moore kid or the fast kid from UCF.
Yeah.
Their offense is still stacked. They still got Kamara. They still got Murray. They didn't lose anybody on offense.
And Jameis Winston.
And that guy.
What if Jameis doesn't make the team? I mean, it's Breeze, it's Hill. So you're definitely
Hill's not a quarterback though. Jameis has completed more passes to the Saints than Hill.
I read that stat as well. But on your roster, Hill's a quarterback.
They'll keep 3 quarterbacks.
Okay. You think maybe this, the rookie they took in the 7th round, maybe has a higher ceiling, is going to be cheaper.
Practice squad guy. Because they compare him a lot to what Hill does. So you stash him on your practice squad for a year or two. Hill eats up his contract from this year, next year. He's in his 30s. Maybe somebody gives a flyer on him to play quarterback, but I just don't think the dude can play quarterback. When you got your quarterback out there playing special teams, running routes, running the football, he ain't your quarterback.
Yeah, unless they completely change the offense.
True.
And do what they're doing in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
That would be you got to cater to his strengths, and I don't know. Can you sustain that over time though?
I don't think Lamar Jackson sustains what he's got going on.
That's what I'm saying. Can they sustain that in Baltimore?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I didn't think he'd have a good season last year because look what the Chargers did to him in the playoffs his rookie year. I mean, they made him go non-existent with dropping. I mean, they played 7 defensive backs. They played 3 linebackers as defensive backs and played the other 4 out deep.
Yeah, the book will come out, and teams will do out of the box things to defend their out of the box offense.
Look at Cam. I mean, Cam obviously had the injury concerns, but his running ability was taken away pretty.
You brought him up. Where does he end up?
I think at this point he's going to have to – he wants to be a starter, but that's not going to happen unless Jacksonville's not happy. Yeah, somebody gets injured or Jacksonville's not happy with Minshew or – I mean, I don't even know. There's nowhere. And it's got to be an injury or he signs as a backup. I mean, Pittsburgh, again, I think Jameis would have been better off in Pittsburgh because him and Ben are pretty much the same people.
Our own Nick Citro evidently has some inside information in Pittsburgh because he tweeted out that Pittsburgh made an offer to Jameis.
Well, I think unless he got inside info
on Jameis.
Yep. Yeah. Because him and I think Corey Hayes both have that connection with Jameis.
Yeah, so if Pittsburgh did reach out to him, then they're potentially in the market for to add a backup. And
well, you saw what happened last year. Ben goes down week 2, and I mean that team fell apart. Didn't help that Connor got hurt and Juju was hurt, and they were throwing 2 quarterbacks in there that didn't belong on the field. I mean, they were putting in Rudolph and Duck in there like they were rotating. I mean, one quarter was one quarterback, the other quarter was another one. They couldn't find consistency.
It's
I mean, in New England's always that wild card. I mean, I know it's not.
Didn't they already come out publicly and say that they're not in the market for him?
Yeah. That's what they can say. Bill Belichick never shows his card, so.
No, you're right. He doesn't. He'll lie straight to everybody's face.
And if he gets to camp, if there's camp or it starts the season and Hoyer's blowing up and doing terrible and Stidham is not where they expect him to be or thought he would be, or you never know. I mean, it's one phone call away to get somebody who can play the quarterback position and knows his way around the league. Not saying he's going to do well, but I mean, been around a while.
Do you think we were one right tackle away from being a effective run offense? With and having Ron Jones with another year in the system, matures a little bit more, gets his body right, comes back with the same type of vengeance he had when he came in the league or is being pushed by Keyshawn Vaughn.
Possibly. I think Dotson didn't run block. I mean, plain and simple, he did not know how to run block or didn't try to run block or just forgot how to run block. I don't know what it was, but he didn't run block. So there's a possibility even if we had somebody – I mean, it possibly could have happened because in camp we had a couple guys get hurt. I think, Seaton got hurt, and there was another lineman they really liked that got hurt in camp that ended up on their practice squad or IR for the season that you never know. They might end up starting one of those guys at right tackle after a few weeks or even to start the season that they thought would do better than Dotson. But there's a possibility. Arians' offense is just so air raid. Like, it's just hard for him. I think it's hard for him to run the ball. I don't think he can say he wants to commit all he wants. I just don't ever think he'll commit to running the ball. And with Brady, I think you have to. You can't let him sit back there like Jameis. Sit and duck back there, throwing 40, 50 times a game. You're not going to win.
Well, Brady's eventually going to be calling the shots out there.
He has to be.
Right. And we didn't see really much at all of that with Winston in regards to him, optioning out of plays and audibling out of, pass plays and the run plays. He pretty much ran what was called. And you're not going that Tom Brady's not going to do that. No. He's going to have a much bigger set, especially, from the 20 in the red zone. That's where you need your quarterback to be able to direct traffic, be able to figure out, if the Leftwich isn't seeing it right, he needs to be able to change it right there at the line.
And he will. Week 1, he'll be in here. I mean, I guarantee he already knows the playbook like the back of his hand. There's no doubt about that because, Brady's devoted to playing the quarterback position in the NFL. He's done it better than anybody else in the NFL.
What up?
What up, buddy?
Poppy Whoa! Latte,
Poppy latte. Poppy latte.
Poppy latte's in the building.
He just coming up out of nowhere.
So, question. This is not video, right? We're just doing audio.
Oh, it's video. It's video. It's video. It's too late now. It's too late. It's too late. It's too late. It's too late.
Holy shit.
I liked it, bro. Be natural.
I'm gonna just let him. Listen. We've been quarantined, right? So if I'm not,
you're good, bro.
The beard, I'm not doing. It's just whatever.
The wife. I just shaved my own head, bro.
We just start role playing. I'm a caveman now. It's cool. It's cool. That's why I was a little bit late. You know what I mean? I had to join in the shower.
Poppy latte. Welcome to the Buccanidiots YouTube show.
Oh fuck.
Take 2.
This is legit. I forgot you had a YouTube channel.
You're just coming in the episode. I'm not even going to announce it. People are going to get the surprise like Garrett did. He had no idea.
I had none.
He had no idea.
His face was priceless. I mean,
he was like,
I saw his face. I'm like, is he reacting to what I was saying or what? And then you show up on the screen. I'm like, shit.
So what are we talking about, guys? What's up?
Oh man, what were we talking about, Garrett?
Brady, the offense.
Fuck Jameis Winston. Fuck Jameis Winston. That's pretty much what I'm saying.
That was.
Oh no. We're gonna address it, Mister. I'm buying a fucking Saints jersey. We're gonna.
That wasn't him.
No, he did. He said it. He said it too.
Gary.
He said it too.
You said that shit.
I didn't directly say it, but
you said that. You said it. Come on, you said it.
It's going in. If I get one, it's going in the closet and never been put on my back.
Yeah.
But then again, I thought about it, and I can't fathom giving money to that organization.
I listen, Jameis. I defended him for 5 years, blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah, it's all over. It's all over a bunch of podcasts. I defended him in the barbershop every day. I took ridicule. I took.
Oh, trust me, I've
criticism. I took. Are you an idiot? I took. Are you fucking blind? Your quarterback is trash.
Yeah, but it's so funny.
Hold on. I took all of that, and then you're gonna have the audacity, as my boy Stephen A. Smith would say, the unmitigated gall to go sign with the fucking Saints.
How fucking dare you?
And then go on an IG Live, and I'm sure you've seen it by now, Garrett.
Yeah, I watched
and say, who that all the way?
Who's that?
Sickening. It's sickening.
No, it's not even who that. It's a stupid who that.
No, learn how to speak. It's who that.
Who that all the way. Who that?
Who that?
What the Jameis? Listen to me. Follow me. At me. Mention me. Don't give a fuck. Do whatever.
At Poppy Latte.
At Poppy Latte. All you fucking crazy Winstonites. Go ahead. Come at me, bro.
Never.
Fuck Jameis Winston.
No, I agree.
Jameis.
I can't.
I'm done, bro.
I can't hope he succeeds. I can't.
And then,
wish the Saints.
As my boy Nick Seacher would say, and he has sources, he had the option to go to Pittsburgh. He wanted to go to New Orleans.
Oh, this was the Gerald McCoy move.
Yeah,
100%.
Let's go have fun. The only difference is I'm playing on the other side, guys.
You mean he won't see the field?
Team.
Hey, Gerald.
He won't see the field.
Gerald, how do you feel about being a Dallas Cowboy?
Dream come true, baby. That's what he said.
I just want to have fun.
How do you think? Listen, what would Gerald McCoy be saying right now if he was still in Tampa and Tom Brady joined the team? Gerald, how do you feel about Tom Brady joining the Buccaneers?
I mean, I've always looked up to this guy. It's crazy. It's Tom Brady. He talks about the Super Bowl. I just want to have fun.
I've never been to the playoffs.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God. So yeah, Garrett, I'll let you speak now, but one more time in case for the people in the back. Fuck Jameis Winston.
And fuck the New Orleans Saints.
And definitely.
Fuck the Who Dat Nation all day.
Because I've been on Twitter banging that fuck the Saints drum. And for everybody out there questioning their loyalty because Jameis left town. No.
I'll be real. I was living in fear. I told I was living in fear. I was like, man, he's gonna come back here and whoop our ass for the next 10 years.
No, I'm terrified.
We took the 2-year nut. Now I'm in full-fledged fuck Jameis.
Yeah. I mean, it would be a very Buccaneer thing for Jameis to go there, find the perfect system.
That's a perfect system for him too. I mean, absolutely perfect.
He said it in his farewell post.
Perfect quarterback-friendly system, period.
Oh, yeah.
It is. He said in his farewell post to Tampa, I'll see you guys in February in Tampa.
Yeah.
Like, it would be such a Buccaneer thing to happen.
Oh,
it really would.
I called it as soon as we signed Brady.
This year, by the way.
I know you've been saying first game of the season, Bucks in Oakland, we're going to Vegas. But how about first game of the season, Monday night in Tampa, Bucks Saints?
I don't think it matters. I think the more likely, the most likely scenario is that Breeze goes down somewhere along the way. Jameis catches fire.
Breeze goes down on Jameis? Is that what you said?
It could happen.
Okay.
Or more like Jameis on him. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's
got to suck that knowledge out somehow.
It's Drew Brees, bro. Give me the baby batter. Give me the baby batter.
Suck the knowledge out.
But the more likely scenario is that, and that the NFL's been going more and more towards these divisional matchups towards the end of the year to make it more exciting. That if he takes over and he catches fire, they will flex that game and say, cha-ching.
Yeah, it's terrifying. I think
it's happening, isn't it? That's going to happen.
It's going. Is there any doubt? Is there? Look, 76 right behind you. That's how long you know what's going to happen.
What does that say?
Bucks life, baby.
Oh, it says stank.
That's what's going to happen. It's already been written.
Yeah.
Why even stress it? It's going to happen.
Is that the price we paid? Is that the blood price we paid for bringing Tom Brady here? Are we paying the price?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except this time it's going to be worse because last time we paid the price with just, mediocrity. Now we're going to pay the price with mediocrity and the guy we gave up on whooping our ass twice a year.
So Bruce Arians went and found a crossroads demon, did a deal with the devil, brought Tom Brady and Gronkowski here, and Jameis Winston and my sex life paid for it.
Yeah, it definitely did.
And then not only did your sex life pay for it, but now your emotions are going to pay for it when Jameis.
Your wallets are already paying for it.
Gouges us.
So there is a scenario, and it's unlikely, extremely unlikely. Oh my God! I want to puke. I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Fuck shit! Stop! I don't want to throw up. I just had beautiful sex. I made love to my beautiful wife. I know you can't do that, but it was awesome. It was awesome.
She's a lovely lady. I met her today. By the way.
Thank you. But I don't want you. Don't make me get nauseous now. That's not cool.
Listen, there is a scenario, unlikely, but I have to put it out there because it's possible. The scenario that New Orleans wins the NFC South, wins the NFC Championship game and goes to the Super Bowl and plays the Super Bowl here in Tampa. That is a scenario that's possible.
Yeah, it is.
Which would then mean that Jameis Winston would be on the sidelines.
What's the over under on how many times they show him on camera? The backup quarterback, right? What's the over under?
At least 10.
A minimum
15.
In a Super Bowl minimum.
Yeah.
But
Breeze goes down. Taysom, moves over to tight end permanently. Jameis Winston.
I'm telling you,
Jameis Winston to Taysom Hill, game-winning touchdown in Raymond James Stadium. Gets carried off the field by Garrett, Corey, and everybody else.
No,
who just can't help themselves.
Jameis one of one.
Yeah.
And Jameis
one of one.
He'll finally unveil himself.
He'll finally unveil himself and carry him off the field.
Yeah.
Hey,
and then at the post game, not only is he going to drop a check your sheet, but he's going to drop a just keep slinging it, baby.
and Jameis one of one will unveil himself officially as Jason Light.
After such a great evening, how do I feel depressed now?
I don't know, bro.
That's how.
because it's going to happen. We know it. We know.
You came
Your
in
scenario
here,
is the same.
Me and Garrett were having just a nice, calm talk. We talked about the draft.
We're talking about it. Did we think we'd be better with the right tackle last year?
Is this running game going to be better with the right tackle? Was DeMar really the problem? Is Rojo going to come back with a vengeance now that Tom Brady's here? And then you just
and then Papa Spice
you just genie out of nowhere, bro. Poof. There you are.
Fucked it all up.
Bringing this energy.
We were past it. We had a short 3-minute combo to start the episode, and we moved past that, and you came in here guns blazing.
This is our
with the taco meat out and everything.
Taco meat out, bro. This is our one of our designated breaks, and we're going to go ahead and take a break here and thank our sponsors. This podcast has been brought to you by Fuck Jameis Winston. It is also sponsored by I hope he never fucking plays it down in New Orleans. I don't wish any ill will on him. And it's also brought to you by I hope the Saints fall out of the fucking league. Who dat? Go fuck yourself.
Weren't they supporting priests?
Hold on. Now back to your regulars. Yeah, they were. Now back to your regularly scheduled program. Commercial, by the way.
What kind of voodoo are they doing in that city?
Sean Payton's sketch.
Bro, Sean Payton is on coke like 24/7.
He might be worse than Belichick.
All the time.
Is that how he got corona? He was trying to cop underneath the bridge somewhere.
Yeah, he's back alley and that stuff.
You get it through your nasal cavities. So when he did that little
bro, that makes way too much sense.
Think about it. Wow,
that makes way too much sense. He was on a park bench with a homeless lady. They were sharing a line.
Yeah,
snorted it, gave her straight up tongue. Boom. Corona. Nobody else in that city has corona. He's the only one. How the fuck did he come up with it?
Nobody.
He's the only one in the state of Louisiana.
No. You got it all wrong. He was patient 0 in Louisiana, and now he gave it to everyone else, and it's an epicenter down there because the cases are bad. It's all Sean Payton's fault.
It's a hot spot.
No. He was the first one. He was patient 0. Fuck. Another reason to say fuck Sean Payton. But
remember when Dirk Cutter and Sean Payton almost got into it at midfield?
I remember that shit.
Yeah.
And it was like the most passive-aggressive handshake ever.
Great job. No, you great job. Like, what the?
They wanted to slap each other, but neither one had the balls to actually fucking.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Joe Madden. Remember Joe Madden would fucking curse out his pitchers?
Yeah.
And you knew he was talking to the umpire, but he was indirectly like, what the fuck would you throw that for, you idiot? That's what it reminded me of. Like, it's okay. Good game. No, you good game. No, you good game. No, you good game.
Latte, we did a 7-hour draft show only to talk about one draft pick. We haven't talked since then.
I got muted by Sammer, so.
Wow,
Sammer, not fucking cool.
Wow.
He put me on hold after about 15 minutes. I took the hint and got out of there.
Listen, if you probably were infringing on Sammer's ability to hear himself talk.
Yes. Plus, if you would have joined at that particular moment that you were trying to join, it would have made his square smaller, which is unacceptable.
Yeah, he's got a weird thing, bro. Look, right now I've got 3 squares on the screen. He'd be panicking. Absolutely panicking.
It would be. And when as people came into the conversation, literally this is what happened, Garrett. The camera got closer to him. I'm still see how I'm bigger than you guys? I'm still here.
Yeah,
we still had to see that red couch.
Closer and closer and make eye contact with me. That's Sam.
Bro, you got some grays back here.
I got grays everywhere, bro.
You got grays back here in the cut.
Look at the neck hair. You see that? That's what's going on there.
Because Garrett, how old are you, man?
I'll be 25 next month.
Oh, you young. He's so young. You're just a young buck.
Yeah.
Just a baby. Let's see. When you were born.
95.
I was 18. So yeah,
I'm old enough to
be your dad.
Do some math for me.
Yeah, man. Carry one. I was 18.
I was 12. I was 12.
I had already witnessed so much Buccaneer losing, bro. Oh my God.
That's bad, right?
I became a Bucs fan right now when they won the Super Bowl.
Only losing, Garrett. Only losing.
And since then, all I've really known, is losing.
I told Stank, it's not a joke. It's not. It's legitimately not a joke. I'm a big guy. I'm a big emotional teddy bear.
You are.
I'm wound up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I can go off like bang, like a fucking firework, or I can love you, hug you. I'm an emotional dude. I might cry when we hit the playoffs, when we clinch.
Cry.
No, I will cry.
No, you're gonna cry on Zoom. I'm gonna make you cry.
I'm gonna cry. On Zoom. I'm gonna cry. Like the feeling.
What if we had one big Zoom call? I'll put out the link to everybody. Everybody publicly link it, and everybody just cry together.
That's all that could happen. Could be a lot of talking over people.
Can we sing Kumbaya?
Oh yeah,
we can.
Are we going to have the same Zoom thing for everyone to cry when Jameis wins the Super Bowl here?
Oh, that'll be riots. Boom. We'll be outside at Ray J.
You can do a live Zoom call from the top of the Skyway Bridge.
There'll be a goddamn mob in front of Ray J. Oh my God.
Holy fuck, bro.
Yeah,
listen, we just can't have nice things. That's what it comes down to, bro. Like our joy was short-lived.
It was. Here's Tom Brady, the GOAT.
Here's Gronk, another GOAT.
Yeah, but your 26-year-old's going to go right up the street.
In division. Have to see him twice a year. Hear about him all year long, I'm sure.
By the way, Garrett, you're spot on. I mean, you're spot on. It is look, Bruce forgot more about football than a lot of people know. Bruce is the quarterback whisperer.
Was.
No, he still is, bro.
You think?
He's yeah. The difference, I think Bruce, he did help Jameis.
Oh, he definitely did.
The long ball got better. His footwork got better.
Yeah.
Well, the long ball, I mean, that was always a problem. That he fixed that. His footwork was fixed. His pocket presence was a lot better. And I'm sure that's stuff that Jameis worked on as well. But there were things that Jameis definitely improved leaps and bounds on because of Bruce. Yeah. But I think, and I've had several conversations with Stank about this, I think the difference, it's the Tim Tebow effect. You remember Tim Tebow when he was coming out and everybody said, oh, he's locked down, he's bunkered down, he's working on his new throwing motion, he's not going to show to anybody until he gets to the combine. It's going to be incredible. The wind-up's gone, he's prototypical quarterback. And everybody said, cute, cool. Yeah, that's cool when you're doing it at the combine or in 7-on-7. But when the bullets fly for real, so I'm sure Bruce made corrections.
That's the second time you took a shot at Tim Tebow, bro. We don't talk about Tim Tebow that bad on this podcast, on this video cast.
Oh, I apologize. Okay. Sweet baby Jesus Tebow. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, he won a playoff game more than Jameis has.
Don't make me Tebow in
bitch, okay? He won a playoff game more than Jameis has.
Won a playoff game.
Boom.
Yeah, Tebow's a whole nother conversation.
Tebow is a beautiful man. Okay.
Oh, he is 100%.
And he's perfect.
He is perfect in every way. But when the bullets fly for real, you revert back to what you know, right?
Yep.
So Bruce said it several times, and I have a lot of respect for Bruce. Some people are like, oh, he's overrated or he's not the quarterback whisperer anymore. He didn't get where he is by accident. He didn't teach the guys that he taught by accident, right? He said it in press conferences, and that's where things took a turn for the worse for me. And I told Stank, when Dirk Cutter says, I don't have the answers, you're like, holy shit. When Bruce Arians says, we've made the corrections, I don't know what else to do, that holds a whole nother level of weight.
Yeah.
Period. So if I make the correction with you over and over and over and over, and then you step on the field and when the bullets fly for real, you play hero and fuck it.
Yeah.
What else am I supposed to do?
Yeah, there's not much you can do.
So with saying all that, the offense is perfect for him because Bruce may know a lot. He made the corrections, but the Saints offense is it's easy, man.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to take anything away from Brees.
Look at
Brees
Teddy B.
Incredible. But Teddy B, it's easy. He schemes people open. It's all short passing game. It's very reminiscent, not as explosive, but very, very reminiscent to the Patriots. Just boom, boom, boom. Oh, this is what you want to do? Take away? Okay, we're going to go here. Oh, you're going to do that? Okay, we're going to scheme this guy open and fucking wheel around. And all of a sudden, that dude's wide the fuck open just magically. Where everything that we had to do with Bruce Arians was hard. Everything.
I mean, the offense is so complicated. I saw the stat the other day. I think there was 4 or 5 quarterbacks on that list. Every single one of them had 40 turnovers on their first, or 40 throwable potential interceptions that they threw that season.
Our friends over at Joe Bucks Fan tweeted out a quote from Peyton Manning, who said, in Bruce Arians' system, when he joined the Colts, I threw 28 interceptions, and said that Bruce should also take responsibility for some of those turnovers. That was an interesting quote.
So should O.J. Howard
from Peyton Manning. What do you think?
I think it's 100% true.
I think it's true.
I don't think this was ever the system for Jameis Winston. I think we said that at the beginning of the year.
Look at in college, he didn't run that.
He ran a West Coast system.
Yeah.
If you went to Las Vegas, if you went to, like, imagine Jameis.
The Chargers?
No. Imagine Jameis with the 49ers.
Imagine any quarterback with the 49ers.
That's what I'm saying. But any quarterback can step in. That's what I mean. Any quarterback can step in and be successful with the 49ers. Yeah. But imagine what Shanahan can do with a Jameis Winston with that kind of talent. Look what he did with Matt Ryan.
Troy Aikman could come out.
Look what he's doing with Garoppolo.
Troy Aikman could come out of the booth today and probably take the 49ers to the playoffs.
Brett Favre.
In that system.
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre. Definitely.
I can throw the ball 60 yards in the water. Boom. I'm not as good as you, Sammer. I know. Stroke your mane down here because I have hamburger meat, but he has a mane.
You think Sammer's watching this? Or will be watching this?
Will be.
This is not live.
No, I don't know. He listens to himself too much, I think.
He won't because he's not on here.
What if I play like his vocals from him and then let him know that we played his voice on?
Oh, he'll listen to it all the way through. Like, hey,
where am I?
What if you don't do it and tell him you did?
And tell him I did it? That's what I'm doing.
It never showed up.
I'm doing it.
Never happened.
I'm doing it.
You'd be so
gotcha, Sammer.
right at this moment of the podcast, it's not gotcha, Sammers. Gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha.
But imagine Jameis with the 49ers. For real. Like,
no,
look what he did with Matt Ryan. And Matt Ryan is, he's not fucking a top 5 quarterback, but he's of that talent level. Jameis has way more talent, but he has the mobility of Garoppolo. But he can throw, as Ren would say, I love this fucking saying, he can throw a 40-yard dart and throw it through a fucking keyhole. It's insane.
Look, the Godwin play against Atlanta is that throw was unbelievable.
No, I got a better one for you. The Perriman one over the middle going towards the south end zone where he threw it between 3 defenders, a fucking rope. Was that the Texans or was that the Atlanta Falcons?
I think it was the
I can't remember which game that was.
But you know what I'm talking about, right? Between 3 defenders, a rope. Like, bro, maybe 2 quarterbacks in the league, 3 quarterbacks.
I think it was against Houston.
Maybe. Yeah, I think it was Houston.
That throw was insane, bro. Insane.
Yeah.
So riddle me this then. If you think he'd succeed in a more West Coast underneath type passing attack, then why were all his interceptions underneath? And in the quick read type situations, the good vast majority of them were to linebackers, and on short outs where corners had a chance to read his eyes and get a jump on the ball. I mean, that's basically the bread and butter for a West Coast offense.
Yeah, curse Darius Leonard.
It's an indictment on Jameis, definitely. I mean, we've had talks, right, where is he reading it fast enough? I don't know if Jameis has that quick. Which
could he see?
I think that's a little bit overblown.
No, it is definitely.
It's a little bit overblown. People think he's like all of a sudden like praise Jesus. I can see it was blurred, bro. You can still fucking see. Was he seeing it fast enough? Was he reading it fast enough? Was he looking at the shot play and then coming down and not? You got to be able to decide, man. Like we've talked about this with Brady. Brady already knows. Aaron Rodgers already knows. Drew Brees already knows, man. Pre-snap. They know, man. This is, we're taking a shot here. They'll signal out to the receiver, let them know, hey, check, little signal shit. We're taking a shot because they already know just based off of pre-snap, this cover is going to line up. And if we get this, I'm taking the shot. this doesn't line up, I already know. I'm a peak, but I already know I'm going to the running back or I'm going to my tight end. I'm going to my outlet right away. Where Jameis is reading. Oh, wow, let me duck down, and then let me try and get a pass to my underneath.
Well, listen, it's his eye discipline as well. Like he's he's a pitcher. He's staring at the mitt, and he has a hard time pulling his eyes away from it. He going through his progressions, he didn't seem to ever get to his third or fourth read because he would stay with his second read until the guy got open or he had to scramble and then do something crazy. Out of the pocket, to me, was his most successful plays.
Yep.
When they were off schedule and he had the ability to do the scramble drill, Jameis was fucking phenomenal.
Amazing. For somebody who's not that athletic, he was phenomenal. His pocket presence, for as much as he got criticized, and it was really because of ball security, but his feel in there, it was fucking Sixth Sense almost.
Yeah.
It was awesome. But I think that's, to answer your question, I think that's the problem, is that our offense was touchdown, shot play to check down. Whereas a system like the 49ers or like the Saints is short. So he's already going to be reading quick, if that makes sense. He's not looking, waiting for something to develop downfield, and oh, fuck, it's not there, checking down. Where somebody like Brady already knows, I'm not even going to waste my time reading that top because based off of pre-snap, it's just not going to be there. He's trying to look, is it going to be there? Is it going to be there? No, it's not. Oh, fuck, underneath. Where in the Saints offense, it's 1, 2, 3, bang. There's no thought process to it.
We had that quarterback here in Tampa. It was Brad Johnson. He took us to the Super Bowl in Gruden's offense. The guy was the orchestrator. He didn't do anything spectacular. If you go back and look at his numbers, they weren't phenomenal. He wasn't throwing for 300.
19 touchdowns, something like that.
Right. It wasn't throwing for 300 yards every game. He didn't give a shit about numbers whatsoever. The guy was, a hell of a leader on the field and orchestrated that offense perfectly. So I don't know. It's going to be, I'm anxious to see. I won't be rooting for him, but I'm anxious to see what Jameis looks like in a completely different system, because there were not a whole lot of visual differences between what we did with Dirk and what we're doing with BA. Just not. I know there are differences, but it looked a whole lot the same to me.
There was a lot more outlets. The fact that he was getting to them late is not Bruce Arians' fault. And again, I go back to the correction, and there was rumors on that. I think Warren Sapp or Rondé Barber, one of them, Garrett, had a show recently. I think it was Rondé Barber, and he spoke on Warren Sapp. But Warren spoke about what Warren Sapp heard in the building or something like that. And they're all connected, right? Like Warren Sapp and Rondé are connected in the building.
They're always there, too.
Warren Sapp said, he would look brilliant in practice. He looked brilliant in practice. And frustration was growing because it was like, he's getting it. And then he would go out on Sundays, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? At one point, there was even rumors that they implemented more of the short passing stuff. But he's still looking deep. Like, that's just discipline, bro. Like, if I'm telling you this is where you should go and you're continuing, like, you can't change the entire offense. Like, you can't make it all slants and drags. Like, if I'm making or implementing more short stuff, but you're still reading deep and then coming back short late, you can't, football snake, you can't throw over the middle late. And you can't wait, man. It's got to be out there.
Especially in the NFL. Especially in the NFL. In college, you can get away with that shit. When you're Florida State and you're playing, some division fucking
Lafayette, whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, you can absolutely get away with that all you want, but not in the NFL. We were just talking about earlier. We drafted a defensive lineman who ran a 4.75.
4.75.
He's at 315 pounds. 310
pounds. 4.85. That was 4.85.
No, it's definitely 4.75.
It was 4.75.
That's insane. And jumped out of a fucking pool.
No. Defensive lineman.
Oh, defensive lineman.
Yeah.
He ain't jumping out of a pool.
The guy from Nebraska.
No, that guy's not jumping out of a pool.
He's not jumping out of a pool. He might.
Donovan Smith, you haven't answered my tweet. Can you jump out of a pool?
Hey, did you see Donovan Smith working out, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was playing hot potato.
I ain't never, in 5 goddamn years we've been here, I ain't never seen Donovan Smith working out and putting videos of it up.
Never once.
But yet Brady shows up and all of a sudden, I'm getting the fuck ready, bro.
He knows Brady's got that pointer. He's got a yes button and no button. You point and say no, he gone.
By the way, Garrett, how do you feel about us not drafting a quarterback? And I'm going to tell you why, a running back, and I'm going to tell you why it doesn't matter.
I think we drafted 2 running backs.
Yeah, we drafted.
I mean, the guy in the second round. Sorry, guys, I know we drafted running backs, but you guys, the Dobbins, that shit. Yeah.
Well, the 3 guys. What was it? 2 or 3 that were gone by the time.
3.
3.
Swift was gone. Taylor was gone.
Swift, Hilaire, and Taylor were all gone.
Which I think any of those guys that would have taken, by the way.
Yeah, no, 100%. I didn't like Dobbins. I don't think he fits what we do. I wasn't a big fan of him. And with Akers, I don't think he was the right pick in the second round. I think if he would have been there in the third, they'd have taken a flyer on him. I think safety, the way it fell, would have been always the pick, even if there was a running back there that they liked, because I think they were really high on Winfield, and the kid's a stud. Third round, I don't mind it as much. At the time, I don't think I was looking too hard at the board of who was there and who wasn't there. So the Vaughn pick did shock me because I didn't have any clue of who he was.
Yeah, it shocked all of us. We had no idea who the was.
But I feel like that's just expected every single year. Like, I didn't expect Carlton Davis. I didn't expect MJ Stewart.
I'll be honest, I had no idea who the fuck Sean Murphy Bunting was.
I didn't know
it was
SMB
going
either.
to be the kid from LSU, and I'm like, we drafted Sean Murphy. Who?
Yeah.
The fuck?
I don't hate it. I think he's going to be a good fit in our offense. But again, like you said, I don't think it matters who's back there with Brady.
Here's what really doesn't matter with Brady back there. I think teams – so you guys been watching The Last Dance, right? Fucking awesome. Yes. Michael Jordan, right? Yeah. LeBron is a freak, right? Can't stop him. I think when you try and beat teams with those kind of players, that kind of, talent, that kind of greatness –
wait, how you say The Last Dance and then say LeBron?
LeBron doesn't compare, but you know what I mean? In today's day and age, LeBron is fucking amazing, you know what I mean?
For the younger people out there.
For the younger people, yeah. It's all MJ. MJ's the GOAT, for sure. Yeah. What I'm saying is great. He's great for this era. LeBron is great. He's not the GOAT, but he's fucking great. But when you're dealing with that type of player, and you've heard this since, they use it a lot more when we were younger, Stank. Not as much. But you can only contain. Right, you're not going to stop those guys.
Exactly.
You can only contain. So I think a lot of teams took that same strategy with us. Oh, Jameis Winston, he's throwing the kid can light you up for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. Holy shit! Mike Evans, Godwin. Oh, it's crazy. All teams said, you know what? I guarantee you, all fucking defensive coordinators said, don't give a fuck.
He's gonna throw it to us anyways.
He's going to get his no matter what. We're going to force Jameis to throw. You heard me right. The 5,000-yard thrower that threw for 33 touchdowns, all that shell production, we want you to throw. Because they banked and they bet on the fact that he was going to give us the ball twice a game, 3 times a game, even once a game, and that would be the differentiator. And it proved out every fucking game, in and out. We're not going to let you run the ball, and Dotson sucked. It was a liability. But we're not going to let you run the ball.
Especially when we didn't have a defense.
We're going to dare you to throw it.
Yeah. Especially when they knew we didn't have a defense, that they could stand toe-to-toe with us, even with a garbage – backup quarterback, because garbage backup quarterbacks thrashed us week after fucking week. Like, let's go back and look at the season we just had. Yeah, we can go back years, but let's just look at last season.
Allen,
look at the quarterbacks that we faced.
Lit us the fuck up.
Right? The fuck? It's insanity. I mean, how many years are we going to deal with our defense being the weak link and just absolutely shitting the bed? I'm hoping that the momentum we carried into the end of last year, builds this year. Like, I hope we come out and we're a formidable defense. Like, we haven't been that yet. Everybody's assuming we're going to be this year, but there's no givens because we haven't done that against high level competition.
Yeah, but even before those last games,
in a league where it's difficult to be a dominant defense, anyways. The rules are stacked against you on defense. You are going to give up points, whether you're great or not. It's one of my worries, honestly. Going into the season, it's one of my worries. I know that we've added some, additional pieces like Winfield, who is my favorite pick in the draft. I already told Garrett, I like the guy, his ball skills, his leadership. I think he's going to be an instant impact player.
Ball skills,
bro. Ball hawk. Get balls anywhere near that guy, he's got skills.
Anywhere he's gonna grab those balls.
Yeah, gonna grab him.
Just like, listen, he's got so many. Other players are jealous, which is why you saw, Donovan Smith out there today juggling balls back and forth with his trainer.
He wants some balls.
Hot potato. Throw me that ball. I've got skills too.
I have ball skills too. Skills.
Ball skills are important.
But I think the defense, though, there's more to the story besides those last games in which they played top 5 defense.
I know what you're going to say.
What am I going to say?
That Jameis put that defense in bad positions
week
after week after week.
That's just fact.
Correct, but there were a lot of instances where
Seattle,
like look at the first game of the year.
Seattle, yeah,
or against Seattle. I mean,
first game of the year, Jameis, he turned the ball over three times
at the
two pick sixes.
You cannot blame fucking OJ Howard's dumbass. Or you know, like the first pick was not Jameis's fault.
Okay,
and we were driving right there.
The second one was.
The second one
and the
was.
last one sure was.
The one to Richard Sherman. Are they both Richard Sherman?
And wait. As since we were just on the the throwable receptions, Quan had a goddamn pick six and dropped it.
Dropped it.
Hit him right between the numbers.
He got ejected from the game. Listen. Scratch that from the record. That's a bad game. That was a bad
game. But look, they had a rough start. They had some bad games, obviously. Bowles tightened it up, figured it out, and
he did.
Even then, moving forward, bro, like in the games where we did lose. Before that 8-game stretch or that 5-game stretch, bro, they led the league in percentage and starting their own inside their own 40. Like, dude, and how many times? Like, you say it's wishy-wash, right? Like, has anybody looked at the numbers? How many times they stopped teams or held them to field goals?
Yeah.
A bunch of fucking times. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but they did it a lot. So
the defense did a good job of slowing the bleeding. There was also, Seattle. That game's all on the defense.
Well, there's no doubt that having efficiency on offense is going to help this defense.
The turnover margin is going to help this defense.
Yeah. Will we see it right away? Will we see instant impact right away? Is this going to look like a completely different offense with Tom Brady?
Not because of coronavirus. I think this hinders. I'm dead serious. I think this hinders.
Okay. Well, I thought it was a joke. My bad. Because they can't gel. They can't have time to go.
I just think this is. Brady's going to learn the offense because he's Brady, but I just think with all the other receivers not getting to catch a pass for a while from their new quarterback, who, he's been around forever, but you never played with the guy.
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
So for the first 6 weeks of the season, every team out there is going to be feeling a little bit off. But teams
everybody.
Teams with units that have been together for a while are going to have an advantage.
Here's the difference, and I hate to say it because it sounds so cliche, but we're talking about Tom fucking Brady here. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. We're not talking about Joe Schmo, who Brady played with and got up to speed, and wide receiver dumbass over here. That how many receivers got hurt on him last year? And he found a way to hit him. The fact they dropped the ball isn't his fault because there was a bunch of drops in that last Tennessee game. I could see the frustration on his face. Like, I'm hitting you in the fucking hands, dude. Yeah. So Brady, we're talking about Brady. Like, if he has to run Mike Evans into the ground or Godwin to get on the same page, and we're not talking about Jameis with they got to get on the same page chemistry with the deep ball. He knows how to throw it with touch and timing and velocity,
and anticipation.
And take some and anticipation exactly. I don't think it's going to be as big as people think.
Me and Garrett were talking about, do you think will be a shorter preseason? And then I talked myself out of that because the owners are never going to give back money. They're not going to take away preseason games because that would hurt the owners' pockets. That would hurt broadcasting. Not going to happen. But what could happen? Did you hear the proposition? No bye week, no Pro Bowl. No bye week. Okay, that's fine. But they could modify the practice rules and go back and allow these teams to practice longer. Obviously the collective bargaining agreement, may not permit them to do certain things like that. But under these circumstances, maybe they agree for 1 year to make an exception. So these guys still get the same amount of time on the practice field that they would have. It's just done in a much more, shorter window of time. Or, here's just a crazy thought. Maybe we just play our guys in preseason more than we normally do. Instead of playing them a half, we play them 2 full games, 3 full games. Like, give them some real experience out there against other teams to get them ready.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I just did a podcast on barbering and the state of it being shut down. And New Jersey has shut down everything indefinitely, and the report is until 2021.
California's the same way.
New Jersey. So I don't know how the fuck we have games. I'm just unless they do it with no fan like 2021, bro. You can't go get a haircut in New Jersey or anything that's non-essential until 2021.
It's interesting. and I don't want to make this a Corona podcast.
Yeah, no.
So I don't know. I mean, it seems crazy to me. But if that's the case, then there is no season because the Giants can't.
Giants, Jets,
anything.
Bills.
Yeah, exactly.
New York's in the same state that
LA Rams, LA Chargers.
Yeah.
Right.
Oakland, never mind. Las Vegas now.
So
New Orleans, if it continues to be how New Orleans is.
Yeah, we may never get to see Tom Brady play in a Bucs uniform. And we may
God.
never get to see Jameis Winston play in the New Orleans Saints uniform.
Fuck. My heart can't take this kind of shit.
I'm going to go under the assumption that they figure out a way. Okay? Until I hear something different. Because, who knows? Federally, they may step in and say, fuck you. You never know. So, if that's the case, it's we're talking about a long off season and and a lost year of football. Who knows?
Oh my God!
Thank God the draft was when it was, because I started going nuts not having sports on.
The draft was like the fucking Super Bowl, bro.
Oh,
listen, I'm just letting you know right now, Sammer. I'm not staying on for a 7-hour show next year because we're gonna have football and an off season and all kinds of other things. Like after the Bucs pick,
I love that 7-hour show. I was fucked up.
I know you drank wine juice, bro, and you were fucked up.
Hey,
it's okay because the people.
Juice.
Okay, wine.
Don't say wine juice. It was wine.
But the people need to know, Stank.
12.5% alcohol.
I thought it was 14%.
I don't remember what it was.
14%.
I bought another bottle though. I have another bottle.
He hit the treadmill too hard.
The people need to know though, and I'm gonna come out here in a very vulnerable way, very very transparent. Stank got fucked up Thursday night, but Friday night. Listen, Stank didn't pass out.
I didn't get that fucked up.
Stank, see, that's me laughing. Stank didn't pass out. Like he went numb for he was like this.
Yeah.
For like a good 30 minutes after running the treadmill.
Catatonic for a fucking few minutes there.
but your boy.
Yeah, we had a Zoom call, off the air Zoom call with a group of people, and I'll just say that this was Sam. I mean, this is what Christian looked like by the end of the night. You ready for this?
In my recliner.
Dead.
Yeah.
No, literally. It's snoring, bro. I had to mute my head.
That's funny.
Hey, all of a sudden,
this is exactly what I did.
You'd be like, you guys are still on?
No, you didn't finish it the right way. I looked around like, you guys are still on?
Yeah.
I gotta go to sleep.
Yeah.
Just closed it.
That's funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, that was vodka's dangerous, guys. And I was literally giving a play-by-play. I'm doing vodka.
It went from vodka with Crystal Light to just vodka.
Hey, it's just vodka now.
Just vodka.
The taste was gone by then.
Yeah, well, your taste buds are gone by then.
Yeah.
They've officially gone into dormancy.
I popped in. I got to pop out.
We're going to end it right here.
Oh. Let's end it the only way we know how.
Real quick, Garrett, how can the Buccanidiots get a hold of you, brother?
At GJANSSEN24 on Twitter and Instagram. That's at GJansen24.
All right. Poppy Latte, how can people find you?
Come on now. At Poppy Latte. And if you know how to spell latte, that's with 2 T's. Give your boy a follow. I'm a good follow, right?
Everybody knows. Even white girls know how to spell latte now, thanks to Starbucks.
Thank you, Starbucks. But I think I'm a pretty good follow. Give your boy a follow. I'm trying to get my followers up. Come on now.
Always.
You
plug the latte.
Fucking idiots. We're out.
Doses.
My kiss was better.